Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Dr. Tanya Hudson and I this afternoon. I'm very excited about this. I'll be honest with you, just being in real estate and kind of going through the day-to-day the last, now almost now in our fifth week, I think, Tanya, with
This end of
I,
fourth week, it's
I
all
don't
a blur.
I went and got a coffee this morning and the barista said, "Happy Wednesday." And I went, oh, it is Wednesday. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But just wanting to help my clients, my friends, my family with things that really, putting real estate aside, we're all dealing with such stressful times right now. And I know you're doing this, Tanya, as well, but working from home, everything is home, homeschooling, just trying to tackle and juggle so many different things. So I'm so appreciative of you taking the time to talk with us. And everyone,
Absolutely.
Dr. Tanya Hudson, she is a wonderful naturopath, works in the Beaverton area. Most of your clients right now are virtual meetings, though, it sounds like. And I
100% virtual. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And I know one exciting thing too is it sounds like all insurance carriers are also taking you on, or most are, which is wonderful. Dr. Tanya Hudson has had 15 years in naturopathic medicine, and I love that your specialty is really in anxiety and stress management. And so we need you so much right now, Tanya. Tanya is near and dear to me in many different ways, but especially because she is my sister-in-law. And so I've known Tanya for about 10 years, and she actually introduced me to my husband, but that is another story for another day. And so right now we're talking all about stress management. And Tanya, you've been married 18 years, two very handsome young boys that you have. And so you're wearing the hat of mom and doctor and homeschool teacher. You're doing it all. So if you don't mind, I'd love it if you could share with us some of your points on how to handle stress at this time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kim, for asking me to do this today. This subject is very near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love working with clients who are struggling with anxiety and stress, and that's a huge issue right now. For the last few weeks, I've been working with a lot of my patients virtually around what they can really do to reduce anxiety. And I think one of the best things we can do right now is to channel all of that, anxiety and fear and stress and put it into self-care. So when we're in a time of feeling like there's a lot of things that we can't control, it can help us to focus on the things that we can control. And so one of the biggest things we can do during this time is focus on self-care. And I know we keep hearing this in the news for things for what we can do for ourselves right now, but exercise truly is one of the best things we can do to reduce anxiety and stress. And part of the reason for that is we have this part of our brain called the amygdala. I love saying amygdala. And this part of our brain is like the freak out zone. So when we are confronted with a true threat, like pretend you're walking along a path and here comes a rattlesnake, right? And we freak out. That's when the amygdala acts, which it should. And then we have this part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is up here at the front. And it is what quiets the amygdala when there's not a threat. So currently, when we are, worried about all these unknowns and what ifs, that amygdala is on high alert. And what we want to do is we want to quiet the amygdala. So I'm all about analogies. And one thing I picture is a mom or a dad tucking their child in at night and telling their child, don't worry, you're safe, good night. That's kind of what the frontal lobe does, this area of the brain to the amygdala, it quiets it. Back to exercise. When we exercise, that improves the ability of the frontal cortex, or that frontal lobe, to quiet the amygdala so that it settles down and knows that we are safe, our stress can decrease, our anxiety can decrease, and we can feel better. So movement is one of the best things we can do right now. And I highly recommend at least a 15-minute walk every day to really decrease that stress and anxiety. Other things that we can do, things that we can control. So meditation is hugely important right now, or just mindfulness. So, mindfulness is learning how to get in the present moment. And there are such easy ways that we can practice mindfulness. So there are some great apps. I love Insight Timer right now. It's a free app that you can download. And
Insight
they have,
timer? Was that
it's
it?
called Insight Timer.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Insight Timer. And they have, meditations that range from 4 minutes to 20 minutes. There are, just saw yesterday, there's over 40,000 free meditations
Oh,
on
wow.
Insight Timer.
that should
Yeah,
get us hopefully through the quarantine.
right, exactly. Let's hope. So what's great about that is you can kind of fine tune the meditation that fits for you. They have a little explanation with each meditation. And really the trick to making a meditation effective is by doing it every day. So creating a new habit. I know for me, when my alarm goes off, I kind of stumble out of bed and I plop myself on the floor, I hit start, and I do my 10-minute mindfulness meditation. So, one of the reasons that meditation is so effective is that for stress and anxiety is it activates what's called the vagus nerve. So I love this nerve. So it travels from the base of your neck down through your colon. And it is an integral part of our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the lying on the beach, watching the
Ah,
sunset.
I like this nerve.
You like this nerve, right? It creates this just lovely, calm sense within us. So we want to activate that nerve right now, right? When we're feeling all like high alert and stressed out, we want to activate this nerve. And so I picture like a guitar string, right? As that being the nerve. And we want to pluck the guitar string. So we activate it. And so to activate the vagus nerve, we want to focus on our breathing. And that is what meditation is having us do, right? So it slows down our breathing, has us focus on that exhalation, which really helps to, again, stimulate the vagus nerve. And it tells our whole being and our mind that we are okay. We're safe, we're calm, we're okay. So exercise helps with that, and meditation helps with that as well. Let's talk about food, because food is
Oh.
another thing.
I told Tanya before this call, I said, Tanya, don't ask me what I had for lunch today, especially in
No
front of
judgment.
everyone.
No judgment. No, so, our food is another thing that we can control, right? And right now, more than ever, we need to be nourishing our bodies. So your gut, it truly is your second brain. So when we're talking about anxiety, stress, worry, we want to love our gut, right? we want to give it nutrients that help our gut in particular to make more serotonin. So about 80 to 85% of our serotonin is made in our gut. So serotonin is this calming, happy chemical, right? So, eating things like dark leafy greens. I love kale. I do love kale. Um, chard and spinach, things like onions and garlic, asparagus, leeks, all those beautiful, colorful vegetables in particular are fantastic at just improving our overall gut health. So feeding our gut with lots of prebiotics is also fantastic. Sometimes taking a probiotic can also be helpful for just improving gut health. So food is key. Even eating foods that have a lot of magnesium can be helpful. So magnesium is one of my favorite nutrients to use with patients who are struggling with anxiety or stress, because magnesium helps us also make more serotonin. So foods that have a lot of magnesium takes us back to our leafy greens. So there's, things like kale and spinach, but also nuts. So almonds are a great source of magnesium. And then, of course, all your good omega-3 fatty acids are fantastic for stress and anxiety. So, salmon, sardines, if you feel brave enough to eat some sardines, fantastic, maybe. And then nuts and seeds are great too, and your dark leafy greens. So food is really important. Food is really important. We want to nourish our bodies right now. Other things that are really key, yeah, sleep. Sleep is another one of those things that we can take charge of right now. And I certainly am hearing from a lot of patients that they're going to bed a lot later, right? And then getting up a lot later. And so they're getting the hours, but their schedule's just kind of turned upside down. So I would encourage everyone to try to stick to a healthy bedtime and wake time, somewhat kind of that's your norm, what you used to have as a schedule, and not doing, don't do the midnight 1 a.m. bedtime. That can just kind of wreak havoc on our mental health too. So make sleep a priority. I would say at least 7 to 8 hours a night, and stay off screens before bed. So at least an hour before bed, have those screens off, and certainly take news breaks. So that's another really important thing right now is it's easy to get into the apocalyptic news and to really send yourself down a scary path. So I recommend, spend 5 minutes, get the headlines, go to Oregon Health Authority, go to the CDC website, get the headlines, but then get the facts, exactly, but then turn it off. And focus again your nervous, anxious energy into self-care. Make that your priority. And really what I'm, with all of my patients, let's get ourselves healthier, by the end of this pandemic than we were when we started it. Let's say this is the time to just optimize and focus on our health. So, let's see, other things I would say, we talked about exercise. If you can get out among the trees, do some forest bathing. I love forest bathing. The research on forest bathing is incredible for stress and anxiety. I am the one who's literally like touching the tree.
Oh, I love it.
Talking to the tree. But forest bathing
as long as they don't talk back, you're fine.
Well, exactly. Well, they do if you really listen. No. But no, get yourself out in nature. And forest bathing is really immersing yourself in your surroundings. So,
so kind of more like that mindfulness, being present.
Yes. Exactly. Be present. Look at the clouds, look at the leaves, look at the bark, pick up a leaf and hold it in your hands and study that leaf. Look at the texture and the smell. So yes, it's being mindful in moments and truly staying in this moment is crucial right now to our mental health. Try not to jump to tomorrow or next week or next year, right? We want to stay in the moment. And again, focus on self-care, truly.
Oh, this is so helpful, Tanya. Thank you so much. I love to hear. I mean, absolutely. I think right off the bat, walks. I can be going on walks every day. Eating better food, absolutely. I've been hearing from a lot of friends, and me included, going, oh my goodness, we're on the scale. Why is the scale going this way? Because Ben & Jerry's is not a leafy green. and that mindfulness, I appreciate that. I want to start doing some meditation and mindfulness too. And I love your call to just have people leave the shelter in place healthier, have us leave it healthier than when we began. So yes. I'm so appreciative. Thank you, Tanya. And for all of you,
you're welcome.
I'm so appreciative of you taking the time. I know you have a busy schedule. I mean, you're still meeting with clients virtually, you're still taking on clients. Everyone, I will have in the comments, I'll have how you can connect and reach Dr. Tanya Hudson. She is taking on patients again. Virtual visits are fabulous. Most insurance carriers are covering these services, which is wonderful. So definitely connect. And I hope you got at least one or two great things that you can put in place. And we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks, Kim.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.